You're watching the Daily Dodge Pregame Show.
And a very pleasant good evening, everyone, from the Beaver Dam Family Center. Daily Dodge TV presents Beaver Dam Golden Beaver boys hockey action. And tonight it's the home opener for the 2024-2025 season. The Sauk Prairie Eagles are in town to take on your Beaver Dam Golden Beavers. Hi again, everybody. Mike Tronson with you at the arena, and I'm joined on site by my videographer and engineer, Charlie Dern. And we welcome you into this broadcast, which is brought to you by our presenting video sponsors, the Beaver Dam Unified School District, Columbus Family Dental, and Hometown Glass and Improvement. Tonight's game is also brought to you by McKinstry's Home Furnishings, Klodowski Real Estate, Slumberland, Pizza Ranch, Park Village Shopping Center, Richards Insurance, Preferred Dental Partners, Napleton 151, Fox Brothers Piggly Wiggly, Gruber Law Office, Air Care, Jerry's BP, Silica for Your Home, Moraine Park Technical College, White Construction, and Spartan Flooring. Welcome into the broadcast on a Tuesday night, everyone. Glad to have you with us. I hope you had a very safe and enjoyable Thanksgiving holiday weekend. I mentioned it's the home opener for the Golden Beavers, just their second game of the young season. They dropped their opener a week ago. It was last week, Tuesday night, November 26th. The Golden Beavers fell 5-0 on the road at De Pere. Meanwhile, Sauk Prairie comes in having dropped their first 3 games of the season. They opened on November 22nd, a close 3-2 defeat to Muskego. And then they played again last Tuesday night, a 7-2 loss at Onalaska Lacrosse. And on November 30th, which was this past Saturday, they fell to Middleton by the score of 7-4. So both of these teams are looking for win number 1 on the season. It's been a little bit of a slow start on both sides, and you can kind of say to an extent that both of these teams are in the same boat. Both of these teams are young this year. In the case of Beaver Dam, they are very, very young. Neither of these rosters have a ton of seniors. And so right now these teams, you've got younger players kind of learning on the job. You've got some veterans, but those veterans, many of them are learning new roles. They're featured in different roles than they have been in the past. And so sometimes that can take a little time to get things on the right track and ironed out. But this is a Badger Conference game, so a conference opener for these two squads. And the conference is a little bit different this year. Instead of a Badger large and a Badger small, the conference now, it's just going to be one Badger conference. All the teams from the Badger large and the Badger small are now just in one conference, and it's called the Badger. No large, no small, no east, no west, north, south. It's just the Badger Conference, and each team in the conference will play all of the other schools one time. And so going to be a little bit different as the way that is structured. But both these teams were successful last year. Sauk Prairie won 15 games during the regular season last year. Beaver Dam had 18 regular season wins last year. And, of course, the Golden Beavers are the 2-time defending conference champions. And going to be a little bit tougher this year with, as we said, a new cast of characters and the way the conference is realigned. But it's early, and we're going to have some fun. Looking forward to this one tonight. Right now we're going to step aside. We'll take a minute break. When we come back, you'll hear comments from Doug Kraft. He's the head coach of the Golden Beavers, and we'll play the interview for you right after this 1-minute break on Daily Dodge TV.
The winter weather can play havoc on your hands and hair. Fear not, the folks at Wonder Nails and Spa has just the ticket for you. Call 887-4374 and let them pamper you. Let them chase away those winter blues. Let's talk hair. Long, beautiful hair, shining, whoa, 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 I digress. The team of cost cutters will put a shimmer and shine to your mood, and their retail products are the best in the business. Call 885-0437 today. That's why you hear everyone say, I shop Park Village Shopping Center, and you should too.
Hey, it's Stacy with Slumberland, Beaver Dam in Watertown. Stop in and see everything that our store has to offer. We built it just for you. We have mattresses, box springs, power bases, bedroom sets, furniture, living room sets, dining sets, everything that you would need to complete your entire home. We've got our interest-free financing and a really great local staff here to help you. So you've got all local people here to help you out from start to finish for anything that you would need. So stop in, shop local, and save big with us.
The players kind of.
And we continue our pregame programming back inside the Beaver Dam Family Center. Mike Tronson standing by with Doug Kraft. He's the head coach of the Golden Beavers. Doug, it's great to see you. Game 2 of the new season. I didn't get a chance to see the season opener. I know it was a tough one for your squad. Kind of give me a quick recap of what you saw in that game.
Well, yeah, score-wise, it didn't turn out the way we wanted. But, you know, we're putting a heavy emphasis on the players kind of playing the game that we want them to, the way we want them to play it, making sure that they also play with a high level of intensity. I think they did that. There's going to be a lot of learning this year for us, and so you can't put the cart before the horse. We got certain things that we want them to learn and ways that we want them to play, and if they haven't done that before, or if they haven't, you know, done it at this level, it's going to take some time.
To expand on what you just said, you and I were talking off the air, and the fact that your team is much, much younger this year. A lot of new faces in different places. You do bring back some guys with experience. Let's talk about some of the new faces first. As we look at the roster, who are you excited about? What should we expect to see?
I really like Isaiah Olds' speed. I think you'll see that right away tonight. I think Elliot Garton's got a lot of hockey sense. Excited about Ty Scott. He's shown, you know, the ability so far, at least in practice, to play defense and forward. So those are the ones that come to mind right away. But, you know, I like the way Cam Blank skates. He's been playing defense for us. He's another guy that we think can do both. And, Mike, you've seen a lot of our hockey over the years. You know, versatility is something that we really put a high level of confidence in, and like something that are just traits that we want out of players. And so we're seeing that already. Those are the ones that come to mind just at first thought.
Meanwhile, you've got some veterans returning. You know, it's nice to have a veteran in goal in Zach Shave. You know, Mason Poznanski had minutes last year, in the last few years. Larry Przanka, guys that I recall from last year. So, but they're maybe in a little bit different roles now, aren't they?
Yeah, surely they are. You know, Mason played a lot and really key roles for us last year, and maybe even a little bit when he was a rookie as a sophomore. Expecting a big jump from Dustin Werner this year, just seeing a lot of leadership out of him. He's playing the game the right way. One thing I like about Dustin is he really listens and he picks it up and does the things that we're coaching. And so I saw that, you know, he brought that with him this year. He spent a lot of time on the ice in the off season, just getting ready. I think he knew he was going to have a bigger role. Certainly Mason's done the leadership thing exactly like we want him to. I mean, he's a captain and he's acting that way. Xander and Dylan last year did a lot of both for us. I think by the mid-season they kind of moved back into the defenseman role, and you know that's where we're going to have them be tonight. We've thrown around, you know, playing them at some forward because we feel like they're both just good hockey players, good passers, skaters, shooters. So we think that they can do either. But here tonight we're going to put them at D.
Talk about Sauk Prairie a little bit. That's the opponent for tonight. And what have you seen out of them in your scouting? And obviously, you know, I'm sure you looked at some tape already.
Yeah, Sauk's got some nice players. You know, I feel like Sauk is a little bit in the same boat as us, maybe not quite as much youth as we have. I think we're probably one of the youngest teams in the state. But they were on a nice long run of some really good hockey players, really good hockey teams. And they have a new coach this year, so I think they're probably level setting, trying to get a grasp on, you know, what they want to be, who they want to be. But they're bringing back some players that were on those really good teams. And just the little bit that I've seen, it seems like they're kind of sticking with their style of play. I'm sure the new coach Dave is putting his own spin on it, but you know, don't want to give away too much, but we have a pretty good grasp usually on how Sauk likes to play, and they start playing that way, if I remember right, you know, starting in the youth. So we're excited for this game. We're expecting it to be pretty even.
And the conference this year, a little bit different. It's not a Badger large and a Badger small anymore. It's just the Badger Conference, one big conference. And I think you mentioned to me that each team's going to play every other team once. Is that correct?
Well, every team's going to play each other once. Okay. So 13 teams is going to be 12 games. You'll play 6 at home and 6 on the road, and then those games will be vice versa next year. Yeah, it's a big conference. Classic 8 did something very similar last year. They even brought in, I think, the North Shore Conference and pumped it up even bigger. So it's exciting in its own way. You know, we don't have to wait for the Badger Challenge to play somebody from the small or the East, you know, so you know, we're familiar with these teams. I mean, we're all fairly close. These kids grow up playing hockey with and against each other not only in the winter, but in the spring and the summer. As a matter of fact, some of these kids on Sauk Prairie play some spring hockey with players in our locker room, so I'm sure they're excited to get out there to the face-offs and see each other. But, yeah, it makes it a challenge. One thing I think our coaching staff has done a really good job of over the last few years is that second game and taking away information and using it to our advantage. So that part's gone. We're going to have to really, you know, bone up on our first scouts on the teams that we're playing.
Doug, I'm looking forward to tonight and all season long. We're going to be covering a lot of games, and great to be back in the rink. Good luck to you and the boys tonight.
Appreciate that, Mike. Appreciate you.
All right, that's Doug Kraft. He's the head coach of Beaver Dam. We'll step aside. We're back for more right after this on Daily Dodge TV. Test, 1, 2, 3, testing.
Cheer.
Testing what?
Now cheer louder. Any accomplishment worth doing is worth doing with all your heart and soul. The entire team at Hometown Glass and Improvement knows that dedication, time, and respect can lead to greatness. When practicing free throws, running for a touchdown, or installing new windows and doors, it is commitment to something larger than oneself that creates a legacy. So keep cheering for your hometown team. Hometown Glass and Improvement online at hometownglass.com.
There's power in your smile. It can make or break a day, start a conversation, even double a dose of courage. Columbus Family Dental is committed to protecting your grin ear to ear. Young and old, orthodontics to cosmetics, we're here to make it that much easier to share your smile. Columbus Family Dental, now accepting every kind of smile.
Jerry's Automotive in Beaver Dam is a champion of our local schools. Team up with Jerry's Automotive by pumping your gas at their Spirit Pump, where 2 cents of every gallon is donated to a local school each month. Jerry's Automotive also provides exceptional vehicle service and repairs and a great selection of convenience items. Visit Jerry's Automotive Center WI.com and on Facebook. Jerry's Automotive, 700 North Spring Street in Beaver Dam, across the street from Beaver Dam Food Pride.
Make Moraine Park Technical College your first choice for an education tailored to your success and growth. With campuses in Beaver Dam, Fond du Lac, and West Bend, visit morainepark.edu/first choice. Mike Tronson back inside the Beaver Dam Family Center along with my videographer and engineer Charlie Dern, getting you set for boys high school hockey. Badger Conference opener between Sauk Prairie and Beaver Dam. Both these teams looking for win number 1 on the season. And we'll have the starting lineups in just a moment.
Against your Beaver Dam Golden Beavers.
That's PA announcer Big Jer as the Golden Beavers take the ice. Beaver Dam in their white jerseys
and time now
tonight.
For tonight's starting lineups. First for Sauk Prairie, starting in goal number 1, Corbin Domka. At defense, number 77, Nolan Keefe. At defense, number 8, Josh Mast. At a forward, number 7, Landon Freezy. At left wing, number 5, Brock Hill. And at a forward, number 34, Ryan Rickard. The Eagles are coached by Dave Ruley and assisted by Tim McInerney. And now the starting lineup for your Beaver Dam Golden Beavers. Starting in goal, a senior, number 1, Zach Shea. At defense, a sophomore, number 6, Dylan Rufner. At defense, a sophomore, number 19, Xander Stotts. At a wing, a freshman, number 4, Elliot Garton. At a wing, a senior, number 11, Mason Poznanski. And at center, a freshman, number 9, Isaiah Olds. Followed by the rest of the Golden Beavers. Beaver Dam is coached by Doug Kraft, assisted by Brett Huff and Gary Pashley. And now to honor America and those depending on freedom, we ask those who are able to please stand and remove your hats and place your hand over your heart for the playing of our national anthem.
Our national anthem here at the BD Family Center as we get you set for Badger Conference boys hockey, Sauk Prairie and Beaver Dam. I mentioned it earlier. You can see it on your Daily Dodge TV screen. Beaver Dam in white jerseys with the green numbers and the green and yellow trim. Sauk Prairie in black jerseys with white numbers and white and red trim in the first period tonight. The Eagles will skate left to right as I see it and as you see it on your screen. Beaver Dam will go right to left. Well, staff and students of the Beaver Dam Unified School District value the community and know that giving back is important. All of their schools are actively engaged with the community, and their staff and students provide thousands of hours in community service each year. From staff and students at the elementary schools to clubs, organizations, and teams at the middle and high schools, they are learning together and giving back together because it's the right thing to do. Don't forget, folks, tonight you can, as you can every night, you can send us an email during the game. We'd love to hear from you. sports@dailydodge.com. sports@dailydodge.com is where you'll find us. Send me your name, where you're from, who you're cheering for. You know the drill by now. We'd love to hear from you. And we are ready to go. Isaiah Olds will take the face-off at center against Ryan Rickard of Sauk Prairie. And let's try it again. False start. Now we drop the puck, and it is sent into the Eagles' end. This game is underway as the puck is picked up by Josh Mess, sent around behind the cage, and then sent right back to the near side, swatted out to center, onto the stick of Landon Frazee. He gains the Beaver Dam line, fires right in on goal, and a glove save made by the netminder. That is Zach Shave. Shave had to face a lot of shots the other night in the season opener. And he stopped all but 5 of them. I believe it was like 56 shots he faced and stopped 51, something like that. Anyways, this play continues. It's in the Beaver Dam end, and Mason Poznanski had it taken away. Puck is sent up to the right point. Mast has it there, sending it down low. It went past his intended target, Brock Hill, over to the far side. Beaver Dam will dump it out to center, but Mast picks it up, sends it right back the other way as Hill takes a swat at it. He's going to go off for a change now. Puck is played behind the Beaver Dam net. as they jostle for position there. We're less than a minute in. No score as of yet. There's a centering pass. Nobody home for Sauk Prairie. And here come the Beavers out to center as the puck is taken away from Elliott Garton. Beaver Dam will have to regroup in its own zone. Rufner has it. Dylan Rufner sends it out to center. Onto the stick of a teammate. Fired in from just inside the blue line by Poznansky, and a save made by Domka. Now back out at center ice. That is Cam Blank. It had it taken away. Puck turned over. Partial breakaway shot. Save made by Shave on a breakaway by Quinn Payne, who's coming in on the left side. That's a big save early for the Beaver Dam netminder as the Golden Beavers have iced the puck. Clock stop, 15:25 left to play in the opening stanza. We are scoreless as of right now. Shots in the game 2-1 right now in favor of the Eagles. Faceoff will come to the left of the netminder, Zach Shave. And from the faceoff, it's controlled by the Eagles, but actually it rolls off the stick of Graydon Schomber, and he has to go back to his own zone to retrieve it. Now takes a return feed over on the near wing, sends it out to center ice, and it's backhanded into the Beaver Dam zone by Gunnar Knockreiner. Going after it, Connor Grant down in the right corner, and a centering pass, and we've got a whistle as that pass was broken up in front. Looks like we may have our first penalty of the game, and we will, as Beaver Dam is going to be down a man. Cam Blank is going to go to the penalty box. And it'll be a 5-on-4 for the Eagles. We are a minute and 57 seconds in, and a chance early for Sauk Prairie via the power play. Is it a 5-minute? Okay, it's a 5-minute major that was called on Blank. We haven't gotten the call yet, but Beaver Dam will have to kill off a 5-minute penalty here. 14:51 to go in the first period. Beaver Dam gets it out to center ice.
Beaver Dam penalty on number 23, Cam Blank. 5 minutes for boarding. Time on the penalty, 1:57. Blank, 5 minutes for boarding at 1:57.
So there you have it. Blank, a 5-minute major for boarding, and that means that Sauk Prairie can score as many times as they want during this 5 minutes, and the power play will not end. And they set it up. Here's Rickard. Shot that goes wide. Actually hit the side of the cage. And now Grant sends it back to the end wall. Skating around with it. Hanko fires it cross ice. Off the wall. Grant picks it up there. He gets hit into the boards hard by Poznansky. Centering pass. Rickard with a point-blank shot. And it's a save by Shave, and now a whistle. Well, Rickard was point-blank range right out in front, and now Beaver Dam is going to be down another player as Poznansky is going to go to the box. Boy, things just went from bad to worse here. It's going to be a 5-on-3 for Sauk Prairie with 13:59 to go in the first period. Scoreless as of right now on the Gruber Law Office's scoreboard, but that could change with a 5-on-3 here.
Beaver Dam penalty on number 11, Mason Poznansky. 2 minutes for roughing. Time on the penalty, 3:01. Poznansky, 2 minutes for roughing at 3:01.
And here is a shot that might have hit traffic in front. I'm not sure if it ever got through to Shave. Eagles controlling on the power play. A minute and a half of 5-on-3. Schomber fanned on a shot. It's loose. It goes through the circle on the right side. Knockreiner's going to pick it up. He'll skate to the blue line. Sends it cross ice. There's a pass. It hit a skater, a stick in front, and bounced out to center. That's a break for the Golden Beavers. A minute 18 left in the 5-on-3. And there's still 3:08 to go in the penalty on Blank. Beaver Dam picks up a loose puck and sends it down the length of the ice. They're going to get some fresh skaters on the ice. And out to center comes Graydon Schomber. Takes a feed and rims it around the boards in the Beaver Dam end. It's picked up by Nolan Keith at the left point. Cross ice to Payne. Quinn Payne's pass intercepted in the slot, and it'll be cleared out of the zone. So far, so good on the penalty kill for Beaver Dam. As some changes being made on both sides here. 32 seconds and counting left in the 5-on-3. And that shot, the puck is shot by Dustin Werner down deep into the Sauk Prairie end. They'll have to regroup down there. Here comes Landon Frazee out to center, skating through traffic across the blue line, right wing side. Frazee behind the net, circling the wagons. He's over to the left side. Little pass left off for a teammate there. It's centered and tipped in front. Save made. Another save made on a point-blank shot by Connor Grant. Zach Shave was ready for that one, and that stops the clock. 12:03 to go, first period. 4 seconds left in the 5-on-3. And after that penalty expires to Poznansky, there will still be a minute and 56 seconds left in the penalty on blank. But Beaver Dam has kept it scoreless in large part to good defense and good goaltending. Shot, point blank range, save made, Shave, and a centering pass went right to Ryan Rickard, and he fired from about 4 feet away, and Shave was able to see it right into his grill and make the stoppage. All right, the penalty to Poznansky is now over. It's back to a 5-on-4. So still another minute 45 on the power play for the Eagles as it's sent out to center. It'll trickle back into the Eagles' end, going after it, Landon Frazee. He'll skate behind his own net. Now comes out to neutral ice. Frazee lost it near the blue line, and if he touches it, it'll be offside. Poznansky gets it back out to center, but right onto the stick of Rickard, brings it in onside. Fires, and that one got deflected over the top of the net. Here's Rickard again. Couldn't get a stick on it. Was poked away at the last second. Poznansky out to center. He overskated it. Now taken by Connor Grant. Eagles will have to start back, and they dump it into the Beaver Dam end. 70 seconds left in the penalty time on blank. Here's Poznansky down low in his own zone, down to his knees. Rickard took him off the puck. Poznansky trying to get it back. Grant is there as well. He sends it into the corner. Now back to Rickard. Rickard along the end wall. Sends it out to the left circle. Here's a shot that was blocked in front. And Beaver Dam could have a breakaway here. There's a pass ahead. This is Isaiah Olds, but he could not catch up with it. And it trickled in on Domka, who made the stop. That could have been a big opportunity, shorthanded nonetheless, for the Golden Beavers. But it was just out of the reach of Olds. Face off to the left of Domka in the Sauk Prairie end. Eagles win the draw, but then turn it over. Puck is in the left circle, sent out to the right point. Shot. That one goes wide of the net from Ty Scott. Rufner down there after it. He went to the left point. Garton was trying to get a stick on it and couldn't keep it in the zone. Rufner picks up the loose puck, dumps it right back in. 20 seconds remaining in the penalty on blank. At one point, this was a 5-on-3 for the Eagles. Right now, a 5-on-4. And here's Schomburg into the offense zone. Glove save made on a rising shot from Schomburg. And Shave is a big, big reason this game is scoreless. There's just 9 seconds left in the power play time for Sauk Prairie. From the faceoff, it's Schomburg along the sidewall, sending it behind the net. Knockreiner after it over there. Knockreiner along the end wall. Penalty's over. We're back to 5 skaters aside. And Schomburg got hassled by Blank, who just got out of the penalty box. But the Eagles bring it back in. They were offside, though. And so the whistle will stop it. 9:53 to go, first period. Shots on goal in the game thus far, 6-2 in favor of the Eagles. And Zach Shave came up very big during that extended power play for Sauk Prairie. He is sharp early in this one, and he's had to be. Eagles from the faceoff. Watch it go deep into their own end. Going to be picked up by Lucas Rellinger. Rimmed around. And as they tried to bring it out, it was intercepted. Poznansky sidesteps the defender. Fires right in on Domka. And he makes the save. Mason Poznansky had a golden opportunity there. But Domka was up to the challenge. And he makes the stop. 9:41 to go in this first period. Face off to the right of Domka. Isaiah Olds will take the draw. Wins it, and he went in, and a shot might have been partially blocked at the last second. I'm not quite sure. But this is Schomburg, Graydon Schomburg, lost it in the corner and tried to get it back and does and sends it ahead. And now here's Brock Hill out at center, fires it into the Golden Beaver end. Going after it there is Xander Stotts. Rickard was after it in the corner, got it to a teammate, and sent out in the slot. And picked up by Beaver. Then they get a 2-on-1 if they hurry. Pass intended for Poznansky was broken up. Garton then got a stick on it to get it back and then lost it as he skated over towards the sidewall. Puck is banked out to center. It'll go back into the Beaver Dam end. Xander Stotts will try and pick it up in the right corner. Plays it high off the plexiglass. And now Stotts again in that right corner. Banks it up towards the blue line, but it's not out. Rellinger's shot was partially blocked. Defender fell down. That was Rufner. And here comes Stotts out to center ice. Xander Stotts through traffic. Had it poke checked away. And now another loose puck. Intercepted. Poznansky fires and a rising shot goes over the top of the net. Might have hit the glove of Domka. And now Rufner got spun around at center ice. Couldn't get a stick on the puck cleanly. Here is Knockreiner into the offensive zone. Shot save made by Shave. Rebound is loose on the slot. And there was a tie up there and nobody could get a shot off cleanly. With it now is Knockreiner. Knockreiner sends it up to the left point. There's Nolan Keith. His shot blocked. There was traffic there. Sent behind the cage. Here's Payne playing it into that far corner. Payne sends it up to the blue line for Keith. Right back down into the corner. And there's a shot that's blocked from the left side. Poznansky hustling out to center up that right wing side. Ran into a defender. Lost the puck in the process. And here come the Eagles back the other way. Well, now they're going to regroup first. Knockreiner in his own zone sends it out to center. It'll be relayed into the Golden Beaver end. It's along the end wall. Grant there picks it up. Centered, but nobody home for Sauk Prairie. Then another shot actually was picked up and fired just wide. Now here's Keith, right point, rising shot. One of the defenders, that was Rufner, knocked it down before it could get to Shave. Beaver Dam just trying to get it out of the zone. And it will go out to center ice, but right onto the stick of Keith. 7:08 to go and counting in a scoreless first period on the Gruber Law Office's one call, that's all scoreboard. Here's Keith at neutral. Banks it ahead. Chetwood into the offense zone, but he couldn't get a stick on it as it was picked up instead by Dustin Werner. Werner sends it out to center. Picked up by Keith at his own blue line. Sends it ahead. Here's Wiegman now into the offense zone. Centered it, but Keith, the pass just a little bit behind him. Now Beaver Dam the other way. Pass intended for Garton is broken up out at center. And this is Chetwood back into the offensive zone. Back behind the Beaver Dam cage. Skates to the far side. Circling the wagon. Sends it over to Schomburg. Right wing side. Shot is blocked there in the circle. Picked up by Olds. 2-on-1 developing. Pass to the right side. Here's Garton. Back to Olds. Olds fires and a stick save made by Domka. There's a shot towards the net, but it was blocked. Never got there. I think Chetwood was the one to block it. Now Garton picking up a loose puck in that near corner. Up to the blue line. Sent back towards the net, but it hit traffic and deflects into the right corner where Lucas Rellinger will send it to the half wall. Sent up to the blue line, but not out. Kept in the zone. Now rimmed around the boards with 5:49 and counting left in a scoreless first period on the one call. That's all scoreboard. 9-4 in favor of Sauk Prairie in the shots on goal department. There's a shot that went wide of the net. Huck, look out as that one is sent over the glass and out of play. And we will have a stoppage with 5:31 left to play in period number one. No score as of yet. First email of the night, the Eberleys are checking in as always. Good luck, boys. Go Beavers. Christine, Skylar, and Lonnie all tuned into the broadcast. Thank you very much. Hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. Sports at dailydodge.com. If you'd like to chime in with an email tonight, we'd love to hear from you. Mike Tronson, Charlie Dern here at the Family Center, masked from the faceoff in his own zone. Sends it over to the far side. Now out to center. Frazee has it on his stick. into the offensive zone, fires, and that one goes over the top of the net. Now Ryan Rickard. Rickard sends it back to Frazee, to Rickard as they play catch. Shot, save made, and pouncing on the rebound was Zach Shave. And we'll force another stoppage here with 5:13 to go in the opening period of play. Been a good one thus far. Both teams have had some chances, and both goaltenders have been up to the task thus far. Tie up in the right corner, pulled out of there by Frazee. Skates around to that far side, gets it up to Keith at the point. He tried to go back to Frazee. Pass broken up momentarily, but now Frazee has it. Over near that left circle. Sends it back to Keith inside the blue line. Shot, hit traffic, and it deflected out to center ice. Now Frazee sending it to his teammate Mast, who came in and his shot was blocked. Another shot from the left side. I think that might have got through to Shave, and if it did, he made the stop. 4.5 minutes to play in the first period. No score. Shot, save made by Shave as that one did get through. It deflected up in the air over to the far side. Clearing attempt is knocked down and kept in. It's rimmed around the boards. Frazee after it there for the Eagles. Rufner going after it now in the corner. Frazee there gets there first. Centers it. Rickard over to the left side. Mast finally caught up with it. Josh Mast near the half wall. To Keith inside the blue line. Fires that hit traffic. Didn't get to the net. And again, Beaver Dam just trying to clear it, and they finally do get it out to center ice. But Keith comes away with it near his own blue line, sends it ahead. Frazee, did he get in onside? He did. That's onside. And his shot blocked. It hit the skate of the Beaver Dam defender. Stotts now a 3-on-2 developing. Stotts left side into the offensive zone. Skates down low, trying to get it back to Poznanski. Loose puck. Olds got knocked down. Puck is loose at center. Now a 2-on-0 the other way. Hill, left side pitch back to Hill. He fires. He scores! It was a 2-on-0, and Brock Hill makes it a 1-0 lead for the Eagles with 3:25 to go in the first period. Well, Beaver Dam had numbers going one way, and when they could not convert, all of a sudden it's numbers the other way for the Eagles. And they score a 2-on-0. An even strength goal for Brock Hill. And the Eagles strike first. 3:21 to go in the period.
Prairie goal scored by number 5, Brock Hill. Assist to number 9, Quinn Payne. Time of the goal, 13:35.
So there you have it at the 13:35 mark. 1-0 Sauk Prairie. It's Hill with the assist from Payne. And now Beaver Dam turns it over in their own zone. Eagles back to work, and a shot goes behind the net. Rellinger on the right side, fired, but it hit a stick. And now out at center ice, Poznanski trying to settle down a bouncing puck, trying to get by the defender as he goes into the offensive zone. Poznanski along the half wall, sends it up to the point. Connor Ottmer there, and he was fighting for it, but the puck deflects up in the air and out to center ice. 2.5 minutes remaining. First period on the Gruber Law Office's one call, that's all scoreboard. Eagles 1, Golden Beavers nothing. Knockreiner tried to center it to Grant in front, and it was just out of his reach. Eagles keep it in. That puck deflects high in the air and out of play as it hit the netting above the net. So we're going to have a stoppage. 2:15 to go in the opening period. Face off to the right of Shave. Keith keeps it in just barely. And a bouncing puck just went just wide of the net. Look out as the cage has been knocked off the magnets. So we'll have a stoppage with 2:08 left to play now in this first period. Another email just came in. Hey, Uncle Andy is back for another season. Impressive penalty kill, boys. You got this. Stay out of the penalty box, Dylan, is what it says. Hey, Andy, thank you very much. sports@dailydodge.com. Again, if you want to send us an email, we'd love to hear from you. sports@dailydodge.com. We'll have the email box open all night long. Give me your name, where you're from, who you're cheering for, all that stuff. Keith fires. That one went through traffic and over to the far side. Kept in the zone. Stotts down there. Puck bouncing around. Werner tried to get a stick on it. Now bounces up to the blue line, but sent right back down low. It'll rim around into the near corner. Minute 40 to go in the first period. Beaver Dam's going to start out to center ice with Werner. Lost it as he crossed the blue line. And here come the Eagles back the other way. Pass to the right side, went off the stick of Jacob Wiegman, and now we've got a delayed penalty coming up here on Beaver Dam. Another one, unfortunately, as the goaltender Domke has gone to the bench for the extra skater. Delayed penalty coming up on Beaver Dam. As soon as they touch the puck, they'll blow the whistle, and they do it right there. So another penalty coming up here for the Golden Beavers. This is going to be on Dylan Rufner. And for the third time, a Beaver Dam player is in the box. .64 seconds remaining in period number 1 on the Gruber Law Office's scoreboard. This is a 2-minute minor on Rufner. Faceoff's going to come to the left of Shave. Now the officials now are over at the scorer's booth. Another 5-minute penalty. Well, it says 2 on the board, though. Okay, now they're... So it's going to be a 5-minute penalty now on Rufner. And from the face-off,
Beaver Dam penalty on number 6, Dylan Rufner. 5 minutes for boarding. Time on the penalty, 14:56. Rufner, 5 minutes for boarding at 14:56.
okay, so there you have it. Another 5-minute major for boarding on Rufner. Ouch. And the Eagles will set up the power play in the offensive zone. Prairie, left side dish, shot, save made by Shea. Puck is bouncing in the slot. Clearing attempt is going to go out to center. Garten picks it up there, shorthanded. And the puck taken away by Prairie. 24 seconds left in period number 1. And that puck deflects up and out of play. So 15 seconds left in the period, and the final 3 minutes and about 56 seconds or so of this 5-minute major on Rufner will continue at the start of the second period. From the face-off to the left of Shea, Prairie shot blocked, deflects out to center and back into the Eagle zone. Poznansky hustling after it, but the defender Mast gets there first. Poznansky trying to take it away, but Mast has it. 3 seconds, 2-1, and that'll do it for period number 1. And after 17 minutes of hockey, it is 1-0. Sauk Prairie leading Beaver Dam on your Gruber Law Office's one call, that's all scoreboard. Penalties, a big story in that first period for the Golden Beavers as they took 3 of them, 2 of them 5-minute majors, and the second of those 5-minute majors is not expired yet. Again, 3 minutes and 56 seconds of power play time will remain at the start of the second period for the Eagles, who have a 1-0 lead on the one call, that's all scoreboard. Let's take a 3-minute break. We're back in 3 minutes for our intermission report after this on Daily Dodge TV.
American drivers overpay an average of $368 per year on their auto insurance. Why? Because, well, insurance is hard. It's complicated. It's time-consuming to get quotes from multiple companies, so we overpay. Or we call Richards Insurance in Beaver Dam. Make one call and receive a quote from a great company like Auto Owners Insurance. The team at Richards Insurance will literally do all the work for you. So if you could be saving money each month with an Auto Owners Insurance policy, you'll know about it. How much will you save with Richards Insurance? To find out, call Richards Insurance or stop in at 123 North Spring Street, downtown Beaver Dam. With offices in Columbus, Watertown, West Bend, and Oshkosh. With over 50 employees and hundreds of years insurance experience across 5 offices, you'll get full-service counseling with no obligation. Your auto owner's insurance carrier is Richards Insurance in Beaver Dam. Call 887-1615.
We'll be there with you. Richards Insurance of Beaver Dam.
White Construction is cheering on our student athletes in the community, and they want you on their winning team too. They're expanding and looking for passionate individuals who want to build their future as a team. Join a company that values teamwork, excellence, and community spirit. They're now hiring for multiple positions around Wisconsin, including general labor, fieldwork, and heavy equipment operators. Visit congruix.com to apply today and step up to the plate with White Construction. Let's build something great together.
Here at Pizza Ranch, we'd like to thank our Swedish friends for bringing the buffet to America. They called it the smorgasbord, but it was a success anyway. So we started our own buffet and loaded it up with pizza, chicken, sides, salads, and cactus bread. And you can even request any pizza you want anytime you visit. We call it Buffet Your Way, because smorgasbord your way, well, that doesn't rhyme at all. Pizza Ranch.
Check out your local Pizza Ranch in Beaver Dam, Watertown, or Waupun, or check out pizzaranch.com.
Are you ready to score big on home comfort? Cheer on our area athletes with McKinstry's Home Furnishings. From plush recliners to luxurious sofas, stylish bedroom sets to cozy area rugs, and all the accessories you need to make your home a winner. Whether you're outfitting your man cave or upgrading your living room with MVP style, McKinstry's has you covered. Game on with McKinstry's Home Furnishings, where winning starts at home.
Year after year, McKinstry's.
When it comes to a winning lineup, turn to the selection of new and pre-owned vehicles at Napleton GM in Beaver Dam. Their team goes the extra mile to provide a winning experience, from hassle-free financing options to exceptional customer service. It's like having a dedicated cheering section cheering you on in every step of the vehicle purchase. Give the team at Napleton GM in Beaver Dam a call at 920-885-3301 or visit napleton151.com and find new roads with their winning inventory.
Well, we have completed one period of play here at the Family Center in Beaver Dam, along with my videographer and engineer Charlie Dern. Mike Tronson with you on Daily Dodge TV. After one on the Gruber Law Office's one call, that's all scoreboard, Sauk Prairie leads Beaver Dam by the score of 1-0. And tonight's game brought to you by our presenting video sponsors, the Beaver Dam Unified School District, Columbus Family Dental, and Hometown Glass and Improvement. Tonight's game also brought to you by McKinstry's Home Furnishings, Kladowski Real Estate, Slumberland, Pizza Ranch, Park Village Shopping Center, Richards Insurance, Preferred Dental Partners, Napleton 151, Fox Brothers Piggly Wiggly, Gruber Law Offices, Air Care, Jerry's BP, Silica for your home, Moraine Park Technical College, White Construction, and Spartan Flooring. Now, the Beaver Dam Unified School District is committed to its strategic plan and actions that result in growth and achievement for students in our community. For more information on the school's success plans and the strategic efforts grounded in supporting academic excellence and social-emotional fortitude, please visit our website or contact your child's principal. So, 1-0 game at the first intermission. And the lone goal of that first period came at the 13:35 mark. Brock Hill, an even strength goal with an assist from his teammate Quinn Payne. And that is the only tally that we've had in this contest. Brock Hill at 13:35 of the first with the assist from Payne. 1-0 Sauk Prairie with the lead after one. Shots on goal in that first period. Sauk Prairie with 13 and Beaver Dam with 4. Saves in the period. Corbin Domka, the netminder for Sauk Prairie, stopped all 4 shots that he faced, and Zach Shave, who was busy, stopped 12 of the 13 shots that he faced in that first period. Penalties in the first period. Beaver Dam took 3 penalties for 12 minutes, including 2 5-minute majors. The Eagles did not score on the power play, but they have one still in progress. They did not score in the period, but there is still 3 minutes and 56 seconds remaining in the 5-minute major on Dylan Rufner that will carry over to the start of the second period. This is game number 2 on the season for the Golden Beavers. I mentioned it earlier, they dropped their season opener to De Pere 5-0 last week, Tuesday. And after tonight, they'll get another week off. Their next game is a week from tonight, Tuesday, December 10th. Wanakee will be here at the Family Center. And that'll be a 7 o'clock face-off, and we'll have that game for you next Tuesday right here on Daily Dodge TV. So kind of a slow start to the season in terms of just getting into the meat of the schedule. Beaver Dam, its first 3 games, all, each 1 game a week basically. But after that game next Tuesday, then it starts to pick up a little bit. Because then Beaver Dam will play on December 14th, the 17th, the 20th, the 21st. They've got games right after Christmas, the 26th through the 28th. So it will start to pick up. And a little bit of time in between these games to start the season. Sauk Prairie has already played 3 games. As I mentioned, they dropped their first 3. After tonight, they will be back in action this Friday night, hosting Baraboo Portage at 7:30. And then a week from tonight, Tuesday, December 10th, McFarland will come calling. And that is also a 7:30 start for the Eagles. And head coach Dave Ruley, who lead it 1-0 on the Gruber Law Office's 1 call, that's all scoreboard at the first intermission. Now make Moraine Park Technical College your first choice for an education tailored to your success and growth. With campuses in Beaver Dam, Fond du Lac, and West Bend, visit morainepark.edu/first choice. Let's take a break. We'll come back with more from the Beaver Dam Family Center right after this break on Daily Dodge TV.
Play garage music. Silica can make any home a smart home. Whole home wiring, speakers, and smart control make your home an oasis that anticipates your every need. Whether you're seeking comfort, entertainment, peace of mind, inspiration, or just a moment of tranquility. Existing or new construction, Silica has the skill to make any home a smart home. Silica for your home.
The gang's all here. Chris,
Adam,
and Abby Klodowski, here to say Klodowski Real Estate is honored and grateful to have been voted Dodge County's best real estate firm, best realtor, and favorite realtor for 2024.
We love living and working in Dodge County, all of the wonderful people we serve, and the opportunity to give back to our community.
Thank you, Dodge County. Thank you.
Klodowski Real Estate, your trusted real estate advisors.
Are you ready for peace of mind? Chad Guzzi here, owner of Air Care in Beaver Dam. If you're tired of unexpected repair bills, you want to sign up for our Total Care plan. It ensures top performance and prolonged life of your heating and air conditioning equipment. Air Care's Total Care customers receive annual inspections as well as a reduced maintenance rate, plus a 10% discount on all service repairs. Air Care, big enough to serve you, small enough to care. 920-356-8860.
Your Fox Brothers Piggly Wiggly in Beaver Dam knows that Wisconsinites take tailgating seriously, and they'll help you take it to the next level with their award-winning Fox Brothers brats and everything you need, whether you're at the game or enjoying it at home. Fox Brothers award-winning exclusive recipes use only the highest quality ingredients you'll taste with every bite and every brat. Try their 11 Grand Champion brats and sausages, including their pre-cooked Fox Brothers original brats, spicy Southwest chicken brats, and Philly cheese brats. Check them out online at foxbrospigglywiggly.com.
You can tell me who you're cheering for. Maybe you want to say hello to Charlie Dern. And we do have an email that just came in. It says, "Go Beavers, give it your best, Connor Ottmer." That's from Grandma. That's from Overnight Bonnie in Beaver Dam. Bonnie, I hope you had a really nice Thanksgiving. Great to hear from you. Appreciate you tuning in. Again, sports@dailydodge.com is where you will find us. Now, in the second period, of course, they switch it up. So in the second period, Sauk Prairie is going to skate right to left as you see it on your screen. Beaver Dam will go left to right. Again, a McKinstry's Home Furnishings power play to start the period for Sauk Prairie for the next 3 minutes and 56 seconds. Poznansky versus Rickard in the faceoff dot. Faceoff is controlled by the Eagles as they will have to go back into their own zone to retrieve it. And this second period is now underway. Out to center, Rickard gains the Beaver Dam line and drops it off. Eagles setting up the power play. They lead it 1-0. Beaver Dam with 3 penalties in the game, 2 of them 5-minute majors. Centering pass, Garton breaks it up in the slot, and he will just send it down the length of the ice. Beaver Dam has taken some penalties, but their penalty kill has been good so far. Now here comes Hill, back up the left wing side into the Beaver Dam end. To the point, shot. That one goes wide of the net. Hill picks up the rebound, centers it, shot. Not sure if that went wide or what, but Frazee had a point-blank chance. Now another shot that goes through the crease and over to the far side. Behind the net, sent to the right wing side. Rickard back around to Mast. Mast shot, kick save made by Shave. Puck is out to center. Poznansky short-handed on a breakaway. Poznansky going in, and he couldn't get a shot out. There's going to be a penalty on Rickard. A delayed penalty is a shot right in, and the save made by Domka. And as soon as the puck is touched by Frazee, the whistle blows, and the first penalty of the game on Sauk Prairie coming up now, because Poznansky had a breakaway and Rickard really had no choice. It was either interfere and slow him down, otherwise he would have had a great chance to tie this game. And so that is huge, because now it's going to be a 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes. As Rickard goes to the box, a 2-minute minor. Still 2:31 left in the penalty on Rufner. And right now we have a bit of a delay here. I'm not sure. Both teams over by their benches. One of the officials was talking with the coaches over there, but I guess we're ready to go now. Face-off to the right of Domka. And from the face-off, Sauk Prairie brings it out to center.
Eagles penalty on number 34, Ryan Rickard. 2 minutes for hooking. Time of the penalty, 1:26. Rickard, 2 minutes for hooking at 1:26.
There you have the penalty call. So 4-on-4 right now. And a swing and a miss down there by Payne. And then Stotts fan on a pass. Shot, point-blank range, save made by Shave. Beaver Dam's got the loose puck. But they can't get it out of the zone. As Schomburg sends it behind the cage over to the right corner where Poznansky gets tied up. Puck taken away. Nice move and a pass. A centering pass was broken up and sent down the length of the ice. Garton trying to catch up with it for the Golden Beavers, but getting there first was Mass. And now there's a big blast by Poznansky and a save made by Domka after he intercepted a loose puck. Poznansky now in the offensive zone. Centered it, shot in on net, save made by Domka, and he covers up, and that forces a whistle. All right, we are now, let's see here, 2.5 minutes into the period. 55 seconds left in the penalty on Rickard. 1:26 left in the penalty on Rufner. 14-9, shots on goal in favor of Sauk Prairie. Face off to the right of Domka. This is Schomburg. in his own zone, getting tied up by Poznanski. Sends it up to the point, but it's going to go out to center. Stotts couldn't get there in time to keep it in the zone. He banks it off the boards, but picked up by the Eagles and sent in. And this is Brock Hill after it. He's the goal scorer in the game. Garton takes it away from Hill. Now a little drop pass. Xander Stotts will have to go back into the near corner to pick it up. Sends it ahead to Poznanski. Out to center it goes. Warner trying to get to it, but instead Frazee has it. Here's Frazee back into the offensive zone. Skates into that right corner. Giving it now to Hill. Hill behind the net. Down deep on the Beaver Dam end. Tried to center it and actually took a funny bounce through the crease. Another shot. That one goes up in the air and behind the cage, actually. Here is Poznanski back at center. Across the blue line. Fires, and a kick save made by Domka. Now a 2-on-2 the other way. Puck was knocked loose and sent back out to center. Rickard has it. His penalty's over. So it's back to a 5-on-4 for Sauk Prairie for the next 12 seconds. Shot by Mast right in on net, and the save is made by Zach Shave. So there are 9 seconds remaining in this power play time, the McKinstry's Home Furnishings power play for Sauk Prairie. 1-0 Eagles lead. On the one call, that's all scoreboard. Weiss watches the puck go by. Chetwood got tied up along the end wall. Penalties over to Rufner. We are back to 5 skaters aside. 12:57 and counting left in period 2. 1-0. Sauk Prairie leads. And if it weren't for some really spectacular goaltending, good penalty kill by Beaver Dam, this could be a lot more lopsided. Puck is out at center. Nolan Keith finds it on his stick, sends it near side to Mast. Mast works it ahead to Weiss. Weiss centered it for Chetwood. It was knocked into the corner. Played up off the half wall by Chetwood. Fires to Keith. Keith's shot, save made. Rebound is loose. And Rufner has it for the Golden Beavers. Back out at center ice. It'll bank into the Eagles' end. Mast is going after it. No icing here as Mast catches up to it. And then Beaver Dam player lost his stick. Mast maintains possession. Here's Mast sending it behind the net for Keith. Keith is trying to start out to center. Is deflected out to neutral and back into the Golden Beaver end. Rufner's going to hustle after it. Chetwood's back there as well, but Rufner got there first. And then fanning on a pass was Ottmer. Puck trickled in onto the near side of the cage and swatted aside by Schaaf. Now puck is out to center ice. Poznanski overskated it. It was sent back into the Eagle zone, but it would have been offside had Beaver Dam touched it. Rufner now will chase down the puck in his own end. And look out as a puck is loose in the circle and picked up by Poznanski. Back out to center. He comes with speed into the offensive zone. Fires, hit traffic. The defender was right there. Went off his skate. Centering pass intended for Olds. After it got knocked loose, he picks it back up. Now Garton's shot was blocked. Garton then sends it down into the corner. Back up to Garton, or beg your pardon, that was a shot kicked aside from Ottmer. Clearing attempt is going to be kept in. Poznanski tried to get a stick on it, knocked away from him. Another clearing attempt kept in and rimmed around the boards. Olds going after it. Keith will get it behind the Beaver Dam net, send it to the half wall on the far side. Tie up there along the boards, and coming away with it is Payne. Now Garton in that right corner. Garton trying to get it through traffic to Olds. Olds had it knocked off his stick, then tried to center as he got it back. And look out as that puck is up into the air and out of play into the spectators to our right. It'll stop the clock. Both teams will make some changes. 10:17 to go in period number 2. And on the one call, that's all scoreboard. It remains Sauk Prairie 1 and Beaver Dam nothing. That's another email to get to here when I have a chance. Again, sports@dailydodge.com if you want to tune in, or chime in, I should say. Hill fell down think the Sauk Prairie fans thought there should have been a penalty there, but I think he just lost his footing. I don't think there was anything there to cause it other than just he lost his footing. Rickard in. Kick save made by Shave. Rufner has the rebound. Sends it ahead. Right onto the stick of Luke Rader, and now there's a big collision at center. Larry Perzenka backhands it down into the Eagles' end. Pass was fanned on. Eagles maintain possession for the time being. 17-11 shots on goal in the hockey game in favor of the Eagles, who lead it 1-0. And now look out, here's Rickard back into the Beaver Dam end. Backhanded shot, didn't get a lot of mustard on it and was saved made easily. Now another shot from the left side, and Shea makes another save. Here is a turnover. Shot! They score! And so it's a 2-0 game now as Prairie picked up that puck. And with 9:09 to go in the second, the Eagles extend their lead on the one call, that's all scoreboard. It is now a 2-0 game, another even strength goal. And from the face-off at center, it goes into the Eagles' end. They'll try and regroup there and bring it out to center ice. Mast dumping it down deep into the Beaver Dam end. He actually banked it off the boards to himself. And now Keith.
Sauk Prairie goal scored by number 7, Landon Freese. Assist to number 5, Brock Hill. And number 20, Graydon Schomburg. Time of the goal, 7:51. Freese from Hill and Schomburg at 7:51.
So there you have it. The goal by Frazee, and Hill and Schomburg get the assist. Hill now with a goal and an assist in this game, and it's 2-0 Sauk Prairie as they start back the other way to our left. Weiss trying to get past the defender, and it was taken away by Isaiah Olds. He sends it to the near side, and pass was off the mark, intended for Poznansky. Beaver Dam will regroup in its own zone. Poznansky banks it out to himself and now gets it ahead to Garton, who gains the line, fires, and that one knocked down, actually knocked up in the air and out of play, I should say, by the goaltender Domka. Both teams will make changes here with the stoppage of play. 7:51 left to go in period number 2. And on the one call, that's all scoreboard. Sauk Prairie now leads 2-0. Frazee with that last goal. Hill and Schomburg the assists. All right, out at center ice. This is Grant sending it into the Beaver Dam end. Rufner's going to chase it down, banks it off the wall, but Grant was there along that half wall to pick it back up for the Eagles. Centering pass, Schomburg fires, kick save made there by Shave. Another shot from the right side, another save made by Shave. Another shot on the rebound. That one knocked down by Shave. Then they shoot, they score! On another rebound, they just kept pressuring. And that might be Hill, I think, with his second of the game. No, bigger pardon, looks like it's Grant. And it's 3-0 in favor of the Eagles. Well, they had sustained pressure there. They were getting rebounds, kept firing it on net, and it was like the third or fourth opportunity able to beat Shave. Third even strength goal, and it makes it a 3-0 lead for the Eagles.
Eagles goal scored by number 6, Connor Grant. Assist to number 10, Gunnar Neckreiner. And number 4, Lucas Ringlinger. Time of the goal, 9:37.
All right, so there's the shot by Poznansky that goes wide. And now a clearing attempt is going to be kept in. Centering pass was broken up. And out to center comes Knockreiner. He'll gain the Beaver Dam line. Tried to center, was broken up. but a clearing attempt kept in and sent down low in the zone. So Grant that last goal with the assists from Hill and Rellinger. 6:10 to go in the period. 3-0 in favor of the Eagles. On your one call, that's all scoreboard. All 3 goals have been at even strength. Shots on goal in the game, 24-13 in favor of Sauk Prairie. There's a shot that goes over the top of the cage. Not sure if Shave got the glove on it. Eagles playing catch with it. Shot in, save made by Shave. Schomburg keeps it in the zone as the carom came out to him near the blue line. Knockreiner sends it to the end wall. Werner banks it high off the glass. And Beaver Dam's going to start out to center ice up the right wing side. Garton had it taken away from high. Nice back check there by Frazee. And now here's Knockreiner trying to go cross ice. And it's taken by, fanned on by Kaus as he came off the bench. But the Eagles have it anyways. They'll bring it right back in. Hill fires. And Shave made the save, and he looked behind him like, where is that puck? Wasn't quite sure, but he was able to stop it. And a whistle with 5:06 to go now in the second period. 3-0 in favor of the Eagles. There's a shot point blank range save made by Shave. Rickard has it near the left circle and it knocked off his stick at the last second. And now here's Hill near the Beaver Dam blue line. Had it roll off his stick out to center for Werner. Werner, and it was poked away from him. Blank couldn't get the stick on it, and now taken by Frazee in his own zone, sends it over to Mast on the near wing side. Mast crossing the blue line. Mast near the left circle, skating down low, centered it, but it got through and goes back down into the Eagles' end. Fired right back out to center. Rickard trying to get the stick on that pass and did, but it was deflected into the neutral zone. Now picked up by Rickard as he came back in, and he fell down, couldn't get a clean shot off as Shave stops it, and the net came off the magnets at the same time. We got some emails to get to here. We had a couple of them that have come in. This one says, hi, this is Isaiah Old's Aunt Lori, watching from the UP in Michigan. Grandma and Grandpa are also watching from Florida. Let's go, Beaver Dam. Thank you very much. Appreciate the email. As we're back to live action, here's Garton in across the line. His shot partially blocked. And a loose puck, Weiss sends it back out to center onto the stick of a teammate who brings it into the Beaver Dam end. And a shot goes wide of the cage through the crease. Poznansky now tracks it down, plays it behind his own net. 3:48 and counting left in the second period. Rellinger to the near side. Schomburg tried to go ahead with it, but it's intercepted, now brought in offside by Beaver Dam. So we have a whistle, 3:38 left in the period. This email says, shout out to Isaiah Olds from Michigan, Traverse City, Michigan. Uncle Kevin, Aunt Melissa, and Cousin Maddie. They say, go Beaver Dam. Thank you again for the email. Again, sports@dailydodge.com. If you want to chime in before the end of the broadcast tonight. In the Eagles' end, Garton to Poznansky, fires, he scores! And the Golden Beavers are on the board. And there go the Teddy Bears onto the ice. We didn't talk about that earlier, but it's Teddy Bear toss night. And the Teddy Bears are going to go to the toy bank, and the fans were just waiting for Beaver Dam to score that first goal so they could throw their Teddy Bears out onto the ice. But Poznansky, the first goal of the season for him, and the first goal of the season for the Golden Beavers. And look at all those Teddy Bears going out onto the ice. I love it. Might have to get some shovels or something. Yeah, they're bringing out the garbage bags now. They're going to collect all those teddy bears, all those stuffed animals, and those will be given to the area toy bank. Ah, what a scene that was. Beaver Dam down 3-0, you know, kind of get your dauber down a little bit when you're struggling, and maybe that'll be the spark that the Golden Beavers need. But an even strength goal for Poznansky. Garton with a beautiful assist to get him that pass, or that puck. But just a little bit of a delay here because they were packing up all of the stuffed animals, all the teddy bears. They've got about at least 3 or 4 bags out there, it looks like. And there they go, taking them off the ice. Yeah, Charlie Dern and I were talking a little while ago, and he mentioned it was teddy bear, and I said, I had no idea. If I'd have known, I'd have brought one myself. I've done that in the past. I could have taken one of my wife's from home, but she probably wouldn't be too happy if I gave one of hers away. But no, that's fantastic. What a neat scene that was. 3-1, 3:29 to go, second period. On the one call, that's all scoreboard. And the Eagles get it in to the offensive zone.
Damn goal! Scored by number 11, Mason Poznansky. Assist to number 4, Elliot Garton. Time of the goal, 13:31.
13:31, the time of the goal. Poznansky from Garton. 3-1, Sauk Prairie still leads on the one call, that's all scoreboard, but new life here for Beaver Dam as they're right back in it. That's an important goal here late in the second period. I mean, not that you can't come back from 3-0 down in the third, but boy, to get that first one here in the late second period, that's big. Now you got to continue to play defense. 2:37 left in the period. Eagles setting up in the Golden Beaver end. Knockreiner out to Keith, trying to go back to Knockreiner. He goes behind the net. Pass, mass fires, save made by Shave. This is Poznansky picking up the puck, and he'll skate to the far side, and he's going to bring it out to center ice. Mason Poznansky trying to lead Garton, but it was out of his reach. Keith down into the left corner in his own zone. Garton fighting along with him. And there is Olds. Olds tried to center it, knocked loose on the slot, and picked up instead by Mast and sent out to center ice. Like I said, maybe that goal's the spark Beaver Dam needed here. Garton going after it along the half wall. Olds is there. Garton has it knocked loose to him. Fires, and a save made by Domka. Garton trying to get the puck on the rebound, and he was taken off the puck, and now it's sent back into the Beaver Dam end. Chasing after it there is Stotts, Xander Stotts. Ooh, look out as he centered it, but he thought he was going to hit his teammate, and it was actually right onto the stick of Rickard, whose shot was deflected out of play above the net. 1:32 left to go in this second period. Shots on goal in the game, 30 for Sauk Prairie, 15 for Beaver Dam, and right now the Eagles have a 3-1 lead over the Golden Beavers on the Gruber Law Office's scoreboard. Rickard and the Eagles win the draw. He's behind the Beaver Dam net, over to the far side, leaves it off behind the net, and now played into the corner. There's a shot, glove save made by Shea. I couldn't see for just a moment who had the puck. And there were several players all on that near side. But Shea with a big glove save. Stoppage and a face-off to the right of the Beaver Dam goaltender, Zach Shea. And this is Hill. Wanted to center it, but instead he took it behind the net. Now Poznansky on the far side trying to get it out to center ice onto the stick of Garton, but it rolled off his stick. Under a minute to play now in the second period. Frazee at his own blue line. Tips it ahead, Hill. Touch pass to Rickard. Rickard drops it off for Hill, left circle. Lost it near the slot. Poznansky had it poked off his stick. Still loose. Where is it? In the slot. And a nice pass and a backhanded shot. Whoa, what a save made by Shaver. Did it hit the post? There was just a little bit of room there on that left side, and somehow it stayed out. I wasn't quite sure if Shave got it or it hit the post, but Shave, I think, must have got a piece of it, and that's a big save right there with 36 seconds left in the period. Out at center ice. Here's Garten. Across the blue line. Garten fires. Save made Domka. Rebound is loose in the slot and cleared out of the zone by the Eagles. Rufner has to hustle after it in his own zone. 16 seconds left in the period. Out to center. Poznanski trying to settle down a bouncing puck. He got taken off the puck. Now sent right back the other way. 7 seconds left. Beaver Dam gets it back out to center. There is Olds into the offensive zone, poked away, brought back in offside with 0.3 seconds left to go in this second period. The faceoff's going to come at neutral ice, and no sooner will they drop the puck than this period will be over, as there's just 0.3 ticks left on the clock. And they drop it, and there's the horn. So after 2 periods of play, our score now reads Sauk Prairie 3, Beaver Dam 1 on your Gruber Law Office's one call, that's all scoreboard. We will take a 3-minute break. Back for the intermission report right after this on Daily Dodge TV.
The Spartans have arrived. Spartan Flooring is here to serve with prices from another time. Get the lowest prices anywhere on name brand carpet and LVP. Save hundreds or more per room without sacrificing the quality. Spartan Flooring makes designing easy with a carefully curated selection tailored to local paint colors and wood stains. Whether you're sprucing up a house to sell or settling in for the next 20 years, get the best prices in town. Call, text, or email to schedule a free, no-cost, no-obligation measurement and assessment. Visit SpartanFloorings.com and prepare to be floored.
At Preferred Dental Partners, our core values are more than just something we put on our wall. They're something we live out. Core value number 2 is the wow experience. This means that from the moment you walk in the door until the time you leave, we want to provide an experience for our patients that is unlike anything you've had before. There are lots of choices of dentists, and we never want anyone to feel they have to be here. We want them to choose to be here because they feel heard, welcomed, and well cared for. If you want to see what the wow experience is about, call or text Preferred Dental Partners today.
Hey, it's Stacy with Slumberland, Beaver Dam in Watertown. Stop in and see everything that our store has to offer. We built it just for you. We have mattresses, box springs, power bases, bedroom sets, furniture, living room sets, dining sets, everything that you would need to complete your entire home. We've got our interest-free financing and a really great local staff here to help you. So you've got all local people here to help you out from start to finish for anything that you would need. So stop in, shop local, and save big with us.
When it comes to a winning lineup, turn to the selection of new and pre-owned vehicles at Napleton GM in Beaver Dam. Their team goes the extra mile to provide a winning experience, from hassle-free financing options to exceptional customer service. It's like having a dedicated cheering section cheering you on in every step of the vehicle purchase. Give the team at Napleton GM in Beaver Dam a call at 920-885-3301 or visit napleton151.com and find new roads with their winning inventory.
There's power in your smile. It can make or break a day, start a conversation, even double a dose of courage. Columbus Family Dental is committed to protecting your grin ear to ear. Young and old, orthodontics to cosmetics, we're here to make it that much easier to share your smile. Columbus Family Dental, now accepting every kind of smile.
The gang's all here. Chris,
Adam,
and Abby Klodowski, here to say Klodowski Real Estate is honored and grateful to have been voted Dodge County's best real estate firm, best realtor, and favorite realtor for 2024.
We love living and working in Dodge County, all of the wonderful people we serve, and the opportunity to give back to our community.
Thank you, Dodge County. Thank you.
Klodowski Real Estate, your trusted real estate advisors.
play garage music.
Silica can make any home a smart home. Whole home wiring, speakers, and smart control make your home an oasis that anticipates your every need. Whether you're seeking comfort, entertainment, peace of mind, inspiration, or just a moment of tranquility. Existing or new construction, Silica has the skill to make any home a smart home. Silica for your home.
All right, 2 periods of play in the books here at the Beaver Dam Family Center, along with my videographer and engineer, Charlie Dern. Mike Tronson with you on Daily Dodge TV. Tuesday night boys hockey, Badger Conference action. And at the end of 2, on the Gruber Law Office's one call, that's all scoreboard, it is Sauk Prairie 3 and Beaver Dam 1. Our game tonight brought to you by our presenting video sponsors, the Beaver Dam Unified School District, Columbus Family Dental, and Hometown Glass and Improvement. Tonight's game also brought to you by McKinstry's Home Furnishings, Kladowski Real Estate, Slumberland, Pizza Ranch, Park Village Shopping Center, Richards Insurance, Preferred Dental Partners, Napleton 151, Fox Brothers Piggly Wiggly, Gruber Law Offices, Air Care, Jerry's BP, Silica for your home, Moraine Park Technical College, White Construction, and Spartan Flooring. Well, the Beaver Dam area is a great place to raise a family for many reasons. A top-notch educational experience is one of those. Now, did you know that Beaver Dam is home to some of the best-performing elementary schools in the state of Wisconsin? Multiple elementary schools exceed expectations in state performance metrics, and one of them ranks in the top 3% of all K-5 elementary schools in the state. To learn more about how to make sure your child has access to the best opportunities in the region, visit our website at www.bdusd.org or follow us on Facebook. So a 3-1 game, Sauk Prairie in front after 2 periods of play. It was a 1-0 game after 1 period, and then in the second period, 3 goals combined, 2 for the Eagles. The Eagles were back on the board at the 7:51 mark of the second, and that was Landon Frazee with assists from Brock Hill and Graydon Schomburg. That goal made it 2-0 in favor of Sauk Prairie. And then less than 2 minutes later, the Eagles scored again. And this time, it was Connor Grant. And Grant scored at the 9:37 mark of the period. And the assists were from Gunnar Knockreiner and Lucas Rellinger. That made it 3-0 in favor of the Eagles. And Beaver Dam finally gets on the board at the 13:31 mark of the period. Mason Poznansky, an even strength tally with a beautiful assist from Beaver Dam's Elliot Garton. That made it a 3-1 game, and that is where we stand after 2. 34 minutes of hockey in the books, and it's a 3-1 game in favor of the Eagles. Shots on goal in the period, in that second period, Beaver Dam 12 for a 2-period total of 16. Meanwhile, Sauk Prairie with 19 in that period for a 2-period total of 32. Saves in the second period. Zach Shave, 17 saves and 29 total saves in the game. 11 saves made by Corbin Domka and 15 total saves in the game. There was only 1 penalty called in that second period. It was a 2-minute minor on Sauk Prairie. Beaver Dam did not score on the power play, so neither team has scored on the power play tonight. Both of these teams, all their goals have been at even strength. But a very important goal, as we said, for Beaver Dam late in the period, that second period, to get them within 2 heading into the third and final frame. So Beaver Dam and Sauk Prairie, a 2-goal game as we are just minutes away from the start of the third period. I mentioned this is a busy week of games here on Daily Dodge TV. We continue with coverage this Thursday night. We have Beaver Dam girls hockey as the Beaver Dam girls will host Sauk Prairie right here in the Family Center on Thursday night. Wade Bates will have the play-by-play. 6:45 pregame, 7 o'clock the opening faceoff. Also on Thursday night, I'll be across the street for Beaver Dam boys basketball as the Golden Beavers will entertain Wisconsin Lifelong Learning Academy. That'll be a 7:15 tip, pregame show around 7 o'clock. Looking ahead to Friday, the Beaver Dam girls basketball team plays host to Oregon on Daily Dodge TV, 7:15 for the tip. And to cap it off on Saturday afternoon, more girls hockey as the Beaver Dam girls will host Fond du Lac. And that's a 3 o'clock start on Saturday with our pregame show around 2:45. I'll have the play-by-play of that one for you right here on Daily Dodge TV. So a lot of games this week, a lot of games over the course of the next few months as we've got a busy winter sports schedule here on Daily Dodge TV and 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam. Right now we'll take a quick break. We'll come back for the start of the third period right after this on Daily Dodge TV.
The Spartans have arrived. Spartan Flooring is here to serve with prices from another time. Get the lowest prices anywhere on name brand carpet and LVP. Save hundreds or more per room without sacrificing the quality. Spartan Flooring makes designing easy with a carefully curated selection tailored to local paint colors and wood stains. Whether you're sprucing up a house to sell or settling in for the next 20 years, get the best prices in town. Call, text, or email to schedule a free, no-cost, no-obligation measurement and assessment. Visit SpartanFloorings.com and prepare to be floored.
Jerry's Automotive in Beaver Dam is a champion of our local schools. Team up with Jerry's Automotive by pumping your gas at their Spirit Pump, where 2 cents of every gallon is donated to a local school each month. Jerry's Automotive also provides exceptional vehicle service and repairs and a great selection of convenience items. Visit Jerry's Automotive Center WI.com and on Facebook. Jerry's Automotive, 700 North Spring Street in Beaver Dam, across the street from Beaver Dam Food Pride.
Are you ready for peace of mind? Chad Guzzi here, owner of Air Care in Beaver Dam. If you're tired of unexpected repair bills, you want to sign up for our Total Care plan. It ensures top performance and prolonged life of your heating and air conditioning equipment. Air Care's Total Care customers receive annual inspections, as well as a reduced maintenance rate, plus a 10% discount on all service repairs. Air Care, big enough to serve you, small enough to care. 920-356-8860.
White Construction is cheering on our student athletes in the community, and they want you on their winning team too. They are expanding and looking for passionate individuals who want to build their future as a team. Join a company that values teamwork, excellence, and community spirit. They're now hiring for multiple positions around Wisconsin, including general labor, fieldwork, and heavy equipment operators. Visit congruix.com to apply today and step up to the plate with White Construction. Let's build something great together.
Cheer. Now cheer louder. Any accomplishment worth doing is worth doing with all your heart and soul. The entire team at Hometown Glass and Improvement knows that dedication, time, and respect can lead to greatness. When practicing free throws, running for a touchdown, or installing new windows and doors, it is commitment to something larger than oneself that creates a legacy. So keep cheering for your hometown team. Hometown Glass and Improvement online at hometownglass.com.
The winter weather can play havoc on your hands and hair. Fear not, the folks at Wonder Nails and Spa has just a ticket for you. Call 887-4374 and let them pamper you. Let them chase away those winter blues. Let's talk hair. Long, beautiful hair, shining, whoa, I digress. The team of cost cutters will put a shimmer and shine to your mood, and their retail products are the best in the business. Call 885-0437 today. That's why you hear everyone say, I shop Park Village Shopping Center, and you should too.
At Preferred Dental Partners, our core values are more than just something we put on our wall. They're something we live out. Core value number 2 is the wow experience. This means that from the moment you walk in the door until the time you leave, we want to provide an experience for our patients that is unlike anything you've had before. There are lots of choices of dentists, and we never want anyone to feel they have to be here. We want them to choose to be here because they feel heard, welcomed, and well cared for. If you want to see what the wow experience is about, call or text Preferred Dental Partners today.
Here at Pizza Ranch, we'd like to thank our Swedish friends for bringing the buffet to America. They called it the smorgasbord, but it was a success anyway. So we started our own buffet and loaded it up with pizza, chicken, sides, salads, and cactus bread. And you can even request any pizza you want anytime you visit. We call it Buffet Your Way, because smorgasbord your way, well, that doesn't rhyme at all. Pizza Ranch.
Check out your local Pizza Ranch in Beaver Dam, Watertown, or Waupun, or check out pizzaranch.com.
Well, just about set to start period number 3. Teams coming back out onto the ice and heading to their respective benches. 17 minutes remaining in this Badger Conference boys hockey tilt. And on the Gruber Law Office's one call, that's all scoreboard. It is a 3-1 lead for Sauk Prairie as we start period number 3. They'll switch it up here in the third period, and Beaver Dam's going to skate right to left once again. Sauk Prairie going left to right across your screen. 2-goal deficit. Isaiah Olds takes the face-off for Beaver Dam. It's sent into the Golden Beaver end, where they will try and come away with it. Rufner had it knocked away, and Frazee then picks it up, sends it behind the Beaver net. Centered in front, and a shot by Rickard that went just wide of the net. Oh, that was a great opportunity for Rickard off the bat here in the third. Just missed wide. Loose puck at center. Eagles have it. They'll fire it right back in as it rims around the boards. Poznansky and down low in his own zone. Trying to go back to the other side. It goes to the point. Kept in there. Mast had a shot blocked, then got it back. Fires it down low. Pass to Rickard in the circle. He ran into a defender. That's Stotts down there. Now Rufner. Rufner in the right corner. Sends it ahead. And a 2-on-1 developing if they hurry. Here is Garten. Garten, backhanded shot, save made by Domka. Now Poznansky catches up to it again near his own blue line. Fires across Garten across the blue line. Garten had it knocked away. Poke checked off his stick. And now Rufner trying to get it back near the Sauk Prairie blue line. Instead, it's fired into the Beaver Dam end by Knockreiner. Stotts going after it. Taken away there by Quinn Payne. Up to the point. Shot goes wide of the net. Knockreiner kind of partially fanned on it. Rellinger takes it, sends it back into the corner. It's loose in the corner. Rufner fell down going after it. Backhanded towards the blue line, and out to center it goes. Schomburg couldn't maintain possession, and now Beaver Dam has it in the offensive zone. Cross-ice pass, Poznansky near the left point. Fires, and an easy save made there by Domka as he saw that one all the way. Here's Poznansky again, fires, and that one gloved down by Knockreiner, but Poznansky gets it back through the circle, stick handling, banks it, centers it off the wall, and Garten just couldn't get a shot off at a tough angle. Now Garten circling behind the nets, had it knocked off his stick by Schomburg. This is Schomburg firing it over to that far side wall. Garten doing a nice job to play him off the puck, but then he lost it, and now the Eagles trying to regroup in their own zone, leading by 2. Early in the third period. Here is Knockreiner out to center. Gains the line. Lost the puck, poked off his stick, right to a teammate, and then partially fanned on as it was shot towards the net. Save made by Shave. Now here's Beaver Dam. Out to center they come. Poznansky, left wing side, gains the blue line. Through the circle. Nice move. Shot, save made by Domka. Rebound is loose. Rufner tried to center it to Werner, and the pass was intercepted at the last second. Oh, my goodness. Now and this is actually Stotts near his own blue line. Pass intercepted by Grant to a teammate. Fired in a save made by Shave. Rebound is loose. Right in on Shave. It trickles. He gloves it. And oh, look out. We've got some fisticuffs here As the net was knocked off the magnets, there was some pushing and shoving going on as they blew the whistle. And looks like cooler heads will prevail here a little bit. But there, at the end of that play, as the whistle blew, we had a little pile up and some pushing and shoving, but nothing more will come of it apparently. 13:59 left to go in the game. A 3-1 lead for the Eagles on the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all scoreboard. And the officials right now over at the Beaver Dam bench area chatting with Coach Doug Kraft and his staff. Just waiting to see if maybe there was going to be something called, and there is. And this is going to be a penalty. They're going to call it on Shave apparently, and so Easton Haney will have to serve the penalty for Shave. If I'm right, and faceoff's going to come to the right of Zach Shave. So a 2-minute minor. Beaver Dam is shorthanded again. Trailing by 2, 13:59 to go in the game. From the faceoff, it's sent out to center, and Frazee has to pick it up in his own zone. Now Rickard.
Beaver Dam penalty on number 1, Zach Shave. 2 minutes for roughing. Time on the penalty, 2:01. Penalty being served by number 3, Easton Haney. Shave, 2 minutes for roughing at 2:01. Penalty served by Haney.
All right, so there you have it. So Shave, the roughing penalty, served by Haney, and it's another power play, a McKinstry's Home Furnishings power play for Sauk Prairie. They lead it 3-1. From the faceoff, puck goes right in on Shave, and he has to cover that one up, and another whistle. Minute 35 still remaining in this power play for the Eagles. Another faceoff to the left of Shave. Beaver Dam wins the draw, rims it around the boards, but Frazee keeps it in, sends it cross ice. Shot was blocked. Mast gets it back, though, sends it to the left corner, behind the net. Over into that near side, Grant banks it off the wall. Hill tried to center, nobody was home, and it's going to go out to center and back down into the Beaver Dam, or the Sauk Prairie end, I should say. Eagles regrouping with exactly 1 minute left in their man advantage, the McKinstry's Home Furnishings power play. Hill lost it near the Beaver Dam blue line. Poznansky tried to get a stick on it, could not. Sent to the blue line, Frazee has it, fires, and that one redirected in front, and it ricocheted wide. Eagles maintain possession. Sent up to the point. Frazee shot, rising shot, save made, save, rebound is loose. And it's going to be picked up by Grant. He sends a drop pass for Rickard. Now to flex up in the air. Grant going after it again. And a whistle. Do we have a play with a high stick or a hand pass? What do we got? The face-off with 12:28 left is going to go back out to center ice. It might have been played with a high stick there, but 29 seconds remaining in the power play time. The McKinstry's Home Furnishings power play for the Eagles, who lead 3-1 on the one call. That's all scoreboard. 12:25 to go in the game. Shots on goal in the game, 37-19 in favor of Sauk Prairie. Here's Schomburg in across the blue line. Centers broken up there by Beaver Dam's Isaiah Olds. Garten after it now, but Keith takes it instead. 7 seconds left in the penalty time on Shave. Clearing attempt sent to the half wall. Garten after it. Now the penalty's over as Haney's back out onto the ice. He was serving the penalty for the goaltender Shave. Sent back into the Beaver Dam end, going after it there. Connor Ottmer. Ottmer sends it around. Keith, though, will get it, and it knocked off his stick. And here's a numbers developing for Beaver Dam. Garten trying to get past the defender, taken down. No call, though. Beaver Dam has it in the offensive zone. And now a loose puck in the circle is taken right back out to neutral, but fired back in. Keith is going to try and chase it down low in his own zone. Rims it around the boards to the near side. Schomburg had to take a funny bounce off the boards. Lost the puck. Beaver Dam will get it. Garten has it out at center. Sends it cross ice. Poznanski going back the other way. With it there is Ottmer. Ottmer finds Blank. Blank throws it ahead. Pass intended for Garten, a little bit wide of the intended target. And now here's Knockreiner. Skating back into his own zone. Banks it off the boards. Poznanski takes the errant pass. Fanned on a pass. Picked up by the Eagles. And they've got it in the offensive zone, but then a interception by Poznanski to get it right back. And he'll skate near side. Fires it out to center. Back into the Sauk Prairie zone. He's going to try and catch up with it. Knockreiner got there. Poznanski's there. Olds overskated it. Couldn't get a stick on it. 10.5 minutes to play in the game. 3-1. Sauk Prairie leads on the one call. That's all scoreboard. That puck deflects out of play over on the far side of the rink. And we'll have a stoppage with 10:22 to go now in this one. Still a 2-goal lead for the Eagles. Again, sports@dailydodge.com if you want to send an email before the end of the game. Had a few of them come in earlier, but nothing lately. Still got time. We had the chuck-a-puck during the second intermission tonight, and I must say that I'm very disappointed in myself that I wasn't a little more on target. Wade Bates was here, and Charlie and I and Wade, we all chucked some pucks, and unlike Baraboo a couple of years ago when I won the chuck-a-duck at the basketball game, I was not even close with the chuck-a-puck here at the hockey game tonight. I got it out to center ice, but I was just wide right of the center line. Oh, well, got some work to do. There's an interception. Werner actually had it roll off his stick after he intercepted the pass. Chases it down in the corner on the right side, but then lost it as he got tied up. And here comes Rickard back into the Beaver Dam. And offside is going to be the call on Sauk Prairie. So the clock is stopped with 9:34 left to go in the hockey game. Beaver Dam needs 2 to tie, and you want to get one fairly quickly here, as time is starting to wind down in this one. Eagles win the draw at center. Keith sends it over to Mast. Now Mast fires it into the Golden Beaver end. It's tied up in the right corner, sent back the other way by Ottmer. Blank will try and chase it down. He pushes it ahead out to center. Sent back in, would have been offside had it been touched. Puck is loose at neutral ice. Eagles send it right back into the Beaver Dam end. Payne chasing it after it. So is Connor Ottmer. And now Grant tried to center to Payne. Broken up there by Werner. Bouncing puck. Centered again. And it deflects up to the blue line for Nolan Keith. Keith down into the corner with that pass. Grabbed by Grant. Grant to Keith. Fires. Rising shot over the top of the cage. Shave got a glove on it and it deflected right over the top of a partially open net behind him. Keith again. Fires. And that one goes over the top of the net. Mast gets the carom as it ricocheted out to that point on the left side. And now Beaver Dam will finally lift it in the air as Ottmer sends it down into the Eagles' end. Is that going to be icing? Yes, it's going to be an icing call on the Golden Beavers. Face-off will come back into the Beaver Dam end with 8:18 to go in this hockey game. You know, both these schools are co-ops. You've got, skaters, yes, from Beaver Dam and Sauk Prairie, but there are other schools represented on these rosters. We haven't really talked about that. There's a shot right in on Shave. He'll make a stop. But for Beaver Dam, they have players on this roster from Columbus, from Mayville, Waterloo. So there are different athletes from different schools on the Beaver Dam roster. Same thing with Sauk Prairie as play continues. Puck is at center ice. Wiegman has it. Knocked off his stick. Chetwood will pick it up. Fires it to the left side. And a shot. Weiss and a glove save made by Shave. Sauk Prairie, they've got, the vast majority of their skaters are from Sauk Prairie, but there's athletes on here from Barneveld, Mount Horeb, Wisconsin Heights. I also see an RV on here. Is that River Valley maybe? Could be. But, both these teams are co-ops, and it's really obviously helping the numbers with these two squads. Schomburg centered it to Hill. Back to Schomburg, and he would have had an open net to fire at, but the pass was just wide. And they tried a little wraparound there. Shave was ready for it. Here's Poznanski behind his own net, skating far side. Ahead, pass too far for Olds, but the defender fell down. Now Garten picks it up. He's into the offensive zone. Garten trying to flip it to himself. Skates behind the net. Garten to Poznanski along the half wall. Poznanski had it knocked off his stick. And now in the air, it's going to be taken by Frazee. 7:08 and counting left in the hockey game. 3-1. Beaver Dam trails on the one call. That's all scoreboard. Still time here, but you got to get a quick one, as we said. Puck is tied up in the right corner. Now dug out, and here comes Garten out to center. Pass right side for Olds. He's in. Drops it for Poznanski. Fires, and that's blocked. A lot of block shots in this game. Poznanski now has it on the near side at center, and his pass hit Frazee. Deflects back into the Beaver Dam, and Olds sends it right back out to center. And now look out as Poznanski couldn't get a stick on it. He was over near the bench area, tied up along the wall. It's in the Beaver Dam end. Hill tried to backhand it down low, was blocked. Now sends it towards the net, but sent right out to the blue line. Another shot from the blue line, save made by Shave. Knockreiner picks up the carom. Here's Knockreiner. Skating with it behind the net. To Payne, he fanned on a shot. Kaus has it. Glove save made by Shave, and Kaus didn't get a whole lot of mustard on that, but Shave was able to pick it off with the glove. Stoppage with 6:02 to go now in the third period. Face-off coming in the Golden Beaver end. Shots on goal in the game, 40-20. Eagles doubling up Beaver Dam in the shots department. All right, out of the face-off. Warner tried to get it out to center. He does, but Grant has it there. Sends it cross ice. Now deflected into the Beaver Dam end. Ottmer is going to watch it go by. He's going to go in front of the net and play defense. Here's Mast. Over at the near point. Down to the right corner. Sent right back to him by Knockreiner. Backhanded pass. Shot. That goes wide of the cage. Knockreiner. Skating behind the net. Puck is loose. Rufner over there got taken down. There's a penalty coming up here. Delayed call on Sauk Prairie, and as they touch it, the whistle blows, and that is just what the doctor ordered for the Golden Beavers, who trail by 2 late in the hockey game. It's going to be a McKinstry's Home Furnishings power play for the Golden Beavers, and they need it in the worst way, trailing 3-1. The penalty is going to go on Gunnar Knockreiner, a 2-minute minor. And the faceoff will come to the left of Domka in the Eagles' end. And they score off the faceoff! What? If that's him, it's number 2 on the night for Mason. Comes with 5:11 left. This game is not over. A power play goal, and it's 3-2 Sauk Prairie.
Prairie penalty was on number 10, Gunnar Knockreiner. 2 minutes for hooking. Time of that penalty was 10:46. Beaver Dam power play goal scored by number 11, Mason Poznanski. Poznanski with the power play goal. I didn't get right time down.
So Poznansky, with his second of the night and second of the season, makes it a one-goal game as play continues. Now 4:34 to go in the game. Here's Rufner, tried to center. That was broken up by Rickard. I didn't hear an assist on that goal by Poznansky. Maybe there was none, but if I see one or hear one, we'll pass that along. Bottom line, it's a one-goal game, 3-2. Mason Poznansky brings the Golden Beavers to within one, and he's within one of a hat trick. Here's Frazee at center ice. Knocked off the puck. Good defense there by Rufner. Garton has it in his own zone, and he gets tied up in the corner. Hill gets to it, centers it. Frazee got spun around, and that puck goes wide of the net. Here's Hill, keeping a puck in the Beaver Dam zone. Well, momentarily is now it's Poznansky back to center and fires it ahead to Olds. Isaiah Olds, shot, glove save made. Getting a piece of it was Domka. Eagles will fire it down the length of the ice. This should be an icing call. And it will be. Icing on Sauk Prairie will bring the faceoff back into the Eagles' end with 3:27 left in this hockey game. On the Gruber Law Office's scoreboard, it's a 3-2 Sauk Prairie lead, but a faceoff and an important one here in the offensive zone. Dustin Werner will take the draw. Push to the point. Beaver Dam trying to keep it in. They will. Now a clearing attempt. It's actually backhanded out of the zone, but Blank got it there and gave it to Ty Scott, who sends it back in, but Knockreiner in his own zone will collect it for Sauk Prairie. He got tied up next to his own man, lost the puck, but it's sent out to center, and actually it'll go back down into the Beaver Dam end for another icing. That's another break for the Golden Beavers as some changes will be made. Three minutes exactly left to play in the game. And the Eagles win the draw, and they get it out to center. Look out. Collision there along that far wall. Garton watching a puck go by. Back to center. Here's Stotts after it. Chetwood got there, though, and collects it. Chetwood centered, and it went by Wiegman. Now a shot by Keith, and that one a glove save made by Shave. Puck is loose. It deflects up in the air near the side of the net. Into the corner it goes. There's Stotts. Xander Stotts flips it ahead to Poznansky. Poznansky through traffic, stick handling. Nice move. Fires, and that one goes wide. Oh, what a move by Poznansky. And now here's Garton intercepting a pass. Garton centered it. Will he keep it in? Couldn't keep it in. Stotts tried. And now here is a shot that goes wide of the net. On the other end, Garton will pick up the loose change. Throws it ahead. Mason Poznansky had it roll off his stick. Garton back there behind him. Over to Olds. Olds crosses the blue line. Olds got taken off the puck. It's loose in the slot and fired down the length of the ice. And that is another icing on Sauk Prairie. But now we're down to 1 minute and 42 seconds left in regulation. 3-2, Eagles lead the Golden Beavers. The Eagles had a 3-0 lead in this game in the second period. Beaver Dam has scored the last two, and we have a timeout called. Brought to you by our good friends at McKinstry's Home Furnishings under the red awning. They're located in downtown Beaver Dam. They've been in business for 166 years. But Beaver Dam has called it a timeout here with 1 minute 42 left to play in this hockey game. Been a good one. Been an entertaining game. I mentioned it earlier, but Beaver Dam does not play again for another week. After tonight, they'll be off until next Tuesday, December 10th. They'll be hosting Wanakee here at the Family Center, 7 o'clock start. That game will be on Daily Dodge TV next Tuesday night. Meanwhile, the Eagles of Sauk Prairie are back in action this coming Friday night, hosting Baraboo Portage at 7:30 at the Sauk Prairie Ice Arena. Next Tuesday, the Eagles will entertain McFarland at 7:30. So here we go. A minute and 42 seconds left. Beaver Dam down 1. They need a goal to tie. And Zach Shave, the goaltender, we're going to keep an eye on him because at some point they're going to pull him and send him to the bench for the extra skater. From the faceoff in the Eagles' end, it's Schomburg rimming it around the boards. There's Hill backhanding it. Actually deflected out of play. I think Rufner got a stick on it as Hill was trying to backhand it up in the air and out to center, but instead it goes out of play. A minute 34 left to go now in regulation. And Poznanski takes the faceoff to the left of Domka. Puck is knocked down and kept in the zone by Olds, or by Stotts rather. Olds then tried to get a stick on it, could not. It's still loose. Rufner has it, sends it into the left circle. Now it is shot out to center ice. Rufner gets it right back and fires it in. Beaver Dam would have been offside had they touched it. Still waiting to see if they can get Shaved to the bench. And we've got a whistle. Do we have a... We had a whistle here with a minute 10 to go. Offside, was it? Yep, the faceoff's going to come back out at neutral. Neutral zone faceoff with 70 seconds remaining. Beaver Dam trying to control off the draw. They do win it. Garton has it. Again, they got to get possession and get into the offensive zone to get a chance for Shave to get to the bench. Poznanski fires. That one goes wide of the net. Shave is off to the bench. Beaver Dam's got an extra skater. 6-on-5. The net is empty, and the puck is shot out of play by Sauk Prairie. So Beaver Dam with an empty net, 51.5 seconds left in this third period. Beaver Dam has pulled the goaltender in favor of the extra skater. So it's going to be 6-on-5 in an offensive zone faceoff for the Golden Beavers. Poznanski will take the all-important faceoff. He wins the draw. Here's Olds along the half wall, and a pass was tipped and kept in the zone by Rufner. It'll be played to the half wall, and now a centering pass was knocked down. It's rimmed along the end wall. Schomburg sends it to the far side where Hill has it. Hill throws it ahead. Frazee's got it, and he's taken off the puck. It's going to trickle into the empty net, and they score. Oh, I couldn't quite tell. For a moment, you thought maybe that puck was going to trickle wide, but it goes right in to the empty net, and that'll seal it 4-2 in favor of Sauk Prairie. So with 27 seconds left, that'll all but do it here. And the Eagles are going to get off the schneid and get their first win of the year. From the faceoff, Garton brings it into the offensive zone, but then shot right back out. 19 seconds left. And now stoppage with 13 seconds left.
Sauk Prairie goal scored by number 7, Landon Prairie. Assist to number 5, Brock Hill. Time of the goal, 16:33. Freezy from Hill at 16:33. Empty net.
Empty net goal there. 7 seconds left. Beaver Dam putting on a little pressure, but that'll just about do it. 1 second. And the horn sounds. And this game is in the books. It was entertaining. It wasn't decided until very late. But the Sauk Prairie Eagles come in and get an all-important road win and an all-important Badger Conference win. Final tonight on the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All scoreboard. Sauk Prairie 4 and Beaver Dam 2. We will step aside. We'll take a break. We'll come back, and we'll get you ready for our post-game report right after this on Daily Dodge TV.
There's power in your smile. It can make or break a day, start a conversation, even double a dose of courage. Columbus Family Dental is committed to protecting your grin ear to ear. Young and old, orthodontics to cosmetics, we're here to make it that much easier to share your smile. Columbus Family Dental, now accepting every kind of smile.
The winter weather can play havoc on your hands and hair. Fear not, the folks at Wonder Nails and Spa has just the ticket for you. Call 887-4374 and let them pamper you. Let them chase away those winter blues. Let's talk hair. Long, beautiful hair, shining, whoa, I digress. The team of cost cutters will put a shimmer and shine to your mood, and their retail products are the best in the business. Call 885-0437 today. That's why you hear everyone say, I shop Park Village Shopping Center, and you should too.
Cheer. Now cheer louder. Any accomplishment worth doing is worth doing with all your heart and soul. The entire team at Hometown Glass and Improvement knows that dedication, time, and respect can lead to greatness. When practicing free throws, running for a touchdown, or installing new windows and doors, it is commitment to something larger than oneself that creates a legacy. So keep cheering for your hometown team. Hometown Glass and Improvement online at hometownglass.com.
Your Fox Brothers Piggly Wiggly and Beaver Dam knows that Wisconsinites take tailgating seriously, and they'll help you take it to the next level with their award-winning Fox Brothers brats and everything you need, whether you're at the game or enjoying it at home. Fox Brothers award-winning exclusive recipes use only the highest quality ingredients you'll taste with every bite and every brat. Try their 11 Grand Champion brats and sausages, including their pre-cooked Fox Brothers original brats, spicy Southwest chicken brats, and Philly cheese brats. Check them out online at foxbrospigglywiggley.com.
Jerry's Automotive in Beaver Dam is a champion of our local schools. Team up with Jerry's Automotive by pumping your gas at their Spirit Pump, where 2 cents of every gallon is donated to a local school each month. Jerry's Automotive also provides exceptional vehicle service and repairs and a great selection of convenience items. Visit Jerry's Automotive Center WI.com and on Facebook. Jerry's Automotive, 700 North Spring Street in Beaver Dam, across the street from Beaver Dam Food Pride.
The gang's all here.
Chris, Adam,
and Abby Klodowski, here to say Klodowski Real Estate is honored and grateful to have been voted Dodge County's best real estate firm, best realtor, and favorite realtor for 2024.
We love living and working in Dodge County, all of the wonderful people we serve, and the opportunity to give back to our community.
Thank you, Dodge County. Thank you.
Klodowski Real Estate, your trusted real estate advisors.
And we welcome you back inside the Beaver Dam Family Center, along with my engineer and videographer, Charlie Dern. Mike Tronson with you on Daily Dodge TV. Entertaining boys hockey game here tonight at the Family Center, and it goes the way of the visitors from Sauk Prairie. Final score tonight on the One Call That's All scoreboard, the Eagles 4 and Beaver Dam 2. With the win, the Eagles are now 1-3 overall, and they are now 1-0 in Badger Conference play. Beaver Dam drops to 0-2 on the year and 0-1 in Badger Conference play. Tonight's game has been a presentation of our presenting video sponsors, the Beaver Dam Unified School District, Columbus Family Dental, and Hometown Glass and Improvement. Tonight's game also brought to you by McKinstry's Home Furnishings, Klodowski Real Estate, Slumberland, Pizza Ranch, Park Village Shopping Center, Richards Insurance, Preferred Dental Partners, Napleton 151, Fox Brothers Piggly Wiggly, Gruber Law Offices, Air Care, Jerry's BP, Silica for your home, Moraine Park Technical College, White Construction, and Spartan Flooring. Well, make Moraine Park Technical College your first choice for an education tailored to your success and growth. With campuses in Beaver Dam, Fond du Lac, and West Bend, visit morainepark.edu/first choice. And be sure to stay up to date with the Beaver Dam Unified School District at bdusd.org and follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Beaver Dam USD. All right, 4-2 your final. Let's recap it for you here. We'll See if we can also get Coach Doug Kraft up here for some post-game comments. But again, 4-2 your final. This was a 3-1 game in favor of Sauk Prairie after 2 periods. In the third period, Mason Poznansky scored with 5:11 left in the game on the power play to get Beaver Dam within 1. It was a 3-2 game at that point, but the Eagles then sealed it with 27 seconds left. An empty net goal by Landon Frazee and the assist from Brock Hill. So the Eagles come in here and get a 2-goal victory. So in this game tonight, Beaver Dam, Mason Poznansky had both of the goals for the Golden Beavers, his first and second goals of the year. Meanwhile, on the Sauk Prairie side of the ledger, Landon Frazee had 2 goals in the game, including the empty netter. He now has 3 goals on the year. Brock Hill scored for the Eagles tonight, so he's now got 3 goals on the year. And Connor Grant also with a goal tonight for the Sauk Prairie Eagles. That was his second of the year. Again, the Eagles get their first win of the year. They are back in action this coming Friday night, December 6th. They will be back home at the Sauk Prairie Ice Arena to entertain Baraboo Portage. 7:30 start time there. Meanwhile, for Beaver Dam, they're off until next week on Tuesday night when they will host Wanakee. We got Doug Kraft coming up here to the broadcast area. Come on up, Doug, here. We'll get you a headset, and I appreciate it very much. Let's get you set there. Can you hear me okay in there, Doug?
No, nothing yet.
Nothing yet? Well, let's try something else here. Maybe we can do this here. Is that a little better for you?
Yep, there we go.
Okay, there we go. Well, thanks for coming up. Boy, I tell you what, entertaining game, tough one for you guys. I mean, it really wasn't decided, as I said, until the very end when they got that empty netter to seal it. But just give me your overall assessment. It was a bit of a slow start. You found yourselves down 3-0 early in the second, but the guys battled back and made a game out of it.
Yeah, and that's the key. You know, with our team, it's going to take some practice and learning how to win. You know, we put ourselves in a bit of a hole there. You know, we don't do that in the beginning, and maybe we're not clawing back. But yeah, proud of the guys for the effort to make it a game. When you pull the goalie, 1-5, 1-10, maybe it's going in. So, you know, it's a last-ditch effort type of play, and it's so early in the season that it's not something we've really spent a lot of time on yet. So, trying to do it on the fly in the second game of the season. Not too surprised it wasn't successful, but yeah, I was happy with the effort and happy with the improvements that we've made from the first game and the improvements that we made tonight in each of the periods.
Well, it's not a large sample size, 2 games. But what are those improvements you just mentioned? What have you seen so far?
Well, we don't like pucks bouncing around in our house. That can get slammed back to our goalie. You know, there's little things, you know, blind or soft backhand passes in the D zone. We want to be just a little more confident with the puck, carry it a couple more strides, find the open man. You know, we talk about playing with speed, especially when you have the puck. You know, the young players are going to have to find some ways to get to, find, and use open ice. I mean, they're all little bits and pieces that are going to have to come together. But, you know, when you're building a hockey team or you're starting off a season or you're bringing new kids into your program, typically you work from your net out. And so we want to be perfect and, you know, strong in our D zone so that we don't spend a lot of time there. And then when we get out of it, we can, you know, open things up and be creative.
Well, unfortunately, you took several penalties early, which kind of contributed to that rough start. But the penalty kill was really good. And I thought Zach Shave, I mean, he was a busy guy out there tonight. I mean, he faced a lot of shots, and he kept you in this game.
Yeah, back-to-back great games for Zach. I'm not surprised he's a senior. You know, his first 2 years, you know, split time, and so he's had a lot of varsity games already. You know, last year he made the sacrifice and skated out for us, so he didn't play in goalie in net as much. So it's probably going to take him a little bit to get the bearings back. But, I mean, if this is his starting point from a year off, we're in good shape in that position.
Mason played well. I mean, he scored both goals for you. And I tell you what, you know, with a young team, you know, when we talked a little bit in the pregame, you and I, about, you know, some of those veterans, some of those senior leaders, need to, really step it up. I thought he stepped up his game tonight.
Absolutely, and that second one was in the back of the net in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, it was. It was so fast.
We didn't have any goals in the first game, but we've been seeing Mason for a couple of years now. He's a bit of a magician with the puck. Want to see him, utilize his shot a little bit more because he's got some reach. He's really good at creating space. Getting the puck away from a defender. Want to see him pull the trigger a little bit more because I think you saw how snappy that thing is when he lets it go. But he's got such good hands and he's so creative that he wants to get in close to the goalie when he can. We'll see some of those goals yet this year. But yeah, Mason had a big game. Got us back in it. It's always a team effort every single goal you get, but a senior, a captain, a strong offensive player came through when we needed him. It's too bad we couldn't, pull it off for him and Zach in the end. But yeah, big individual performances for both of them.
Yeah, some of the younger guys that you and I talked about, I could see flashes tonight, like Garton gave you quality time, Olds, and I can see why you're excited about what they can bring to the table. And I would think, playing on a line with a guy like Mason Poznansky is only going to help them and make them better.
Absolutely. I mean, they learn as much from their teammates as they do from their coaches. Those two playing together is going to be, I think that's big for our future. And it's not very often that freshmen or rookies are going to get to play much. Usually you have a couple and they get a little bit here and there. I mean, they are getting to play large amount of minutes, on a top line right out of the gate. And that is just so invaluable. And I imagine that it could be frustrating for them a little bit at some points this season because they're not being dripped into the experience. But the dividends that will pay off long term is you just don't get it. You don't get it anywhere else. So I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing what that brings.
During the game, I kind of mused that I said, you played your first game, had a week off. Play a game tonight, now another week before your next game. So you're not really, into the meat of the schedule just yet. But can that maybe, with such a young team and what you're learning right now, can that be good to have some time in between those first couple games to, just take a step back, go into practice and try and work on, improving and refining some things that they've learned?
Yeah, it certainly is. The first break was Thanksgiving, so we didn't get to practice all that much. But here, having our second game and having a number of days off before our next game, so when you come into the beginning of a season, you got to install so much, and you have to you are putting the cart before the horse a little bit because you need to get certain things into the team, even if they're not going to absorb it all right away. This is how we practice. This is how we play. These are the things that we run. This is what you need to know. Now that we're past training camp, first game, Thanksgiving, second game, we'll be getting into this long stretch of practices, and we'll be able to drill down on the skills needed to be successful in those things. And so that's the next step for us. And, in a lot of sports, you might be doing that right from the get-go, or maybe in younger sports, doing that at the beginning and then getting into the systems or the team play. We have to kind of put the team play in, then come back to the skills, and then get back to team play from there. So this is a great time for those young players. They're going to learn a lot.
Well, this was an entertaining game. Like I said, sorry it didn't come out your way tonight, but entertaining nonetheless. Love the way the kids battled. And like I said, looking forward to bringing a lot more games to the fans on Daily Dodge TV as this season progresses. In fact, we'll be on the air next week, Tuesday night, right here when you play Wanakee.
Okay, great. Appreciate that.
Good to see you, Doug. Thanks for coming up. I do appreciate it. All right. That's Doug Kraft. He's the head coach of Beaver Dam, joining me on the postgame show here tonight. Again, Beaver Dam falling to Sauk Prairie by the score of 4-2. And that's going to be pretty much wrapping up our game report for today. Again, a reminder that more games to come your way later this week here on Daily Dodge TV. We've got a double header on Thursday night, December 5th. We've got Beaver Dam girls hockey versus Sauk Prairie. 6:45 pregame, 7 o'clock the opening faceoff on Thursday night. And also on Thursday, join me across the street on the other live stream as the Beaver Dam boys basketball team will take on Wisconsin Lifelong Learning Academy at 7:15 with our pregame show starting around 7 o'clock. But that will do it from the Family Center, 4-2. Sauk Prairie skates to the win tonight here at the Family Center. I want to thank all of you for being with us. Hope you enjoyed this broadcast. And I want to thank Charlie Dern. He was my videographer and engineer. Did a great job tonight, as always. For Charlie, this is Mike Tronson saying so long from Beaver Dam's Family Center. Have a pleasant evening. This has been a Daily Dodge TV Sports presentation.